Hey everyone, Pupsker here. Today in Warframe, we're going to be going over the Hate Incarnon, currently available for the next week in Warframe's the Circuit weekly Steel Path game mode. If you want to farm up Incarnons, you can get 2 a week. So the Hate Incarnon is a Stalker weapon, and it's a very interesting weapon, okay? You just start attacking, building your combo, but when you actually go Incarnon mode, it starts shooting out forward melee fireballs. So even if you don't feel like hitting heat on your weapon, you're still going to be throwing out melee fireballs, but we'll talk about that more in a second. So this is what the Hate Incarnon fully looks like, and it's kind of a sweet weapon when it's upgraded, okay? Huge damage boosts and everything, and it's just a really cool weapon. So let's go over the Hate Incarnon. First and foremost, the actual Incarnon mode, right? We have the first evolution, which is a straight up huge boost for most melees. You get a 100% damage increase if you upgrade it at the 6x combo, do a heavy attack, boom, it's Incarnon form. And it also has a sprint speed boost, 20%, and parkour velocity. I know it's a little weird, but at the same time, I'm not mad that I can go faster, so hey. Forward and neutral combos embed explosive blades, so that's the forward hitting, like fire attack that you were seeing there. Increase base damage by plus 30 with melee weapon equipped, 100% combo chance. So these are where you can actually start swapping them around, right? You can either choose that or base increase with Dread and Despair equipped plus 30 initial combo. That's obviously if you feel like building the full Stalker combo, but I just like to build for playing the game, like casual gameplay and whatnot. So I don't really care about Stalker's Legacy myself, but it is OP. On Evolution 3, you can choose between Orc and Reach, which is range, and I always just like having range, so I choose that. You can also choose Heavy Attack Wind-Up Speed, very good as well if you want to choose that and you like hitting a lot of heavy attacks. And then you have plus 10-second combo duration. That one, guess what? Also really good. If you're doing a combo build, it's probably best to like quickly swap that on if you want the extra combo duration, but I'm pretty lazy, so I just keep it on my range. That's always my issue with these types of weapons. If you want to min-max it to the highest degree, yeah, you want to swap around everything based on the build you feel like running. But hey, it is what it is. Last but not least is Evolution 4. I took increased base crit chance by 10%, bumps it up to 40% as you can see there, and 40% still in Incarnon form, so does get very strong, very, very strong. You can also increase your base status chance by 20%, which isn't a bad idea if you do a status build, but I'm not doing any full base status builds myself. Or you can increase crit by 6 and status by 10, which honestly, if you just want a little bit of both, I would say that's good as well. It's kind of nice in Warframe. You're kind of a pretty invincible god one way or another, so the amount of damage you can throw out without caring to min-max to the highest degree is very good. So hey, that is the Hate Incarnon right there. And as you saw before, this is like the base hate mode, but then again, if we spawn in some enemies to quickly get the combo going, so you can just take a quick look to see how it fully interacts, right? You just use your forward melees, and then you can see, like, you get forward throwing explosives, and I do believe, yeah, they do some damage. I don't think they do a ton of heat base, so you make sure if you do want to do heat damage, you probably still have to mod for it, or just high status chance. Either way, it is really good. All in all, would recommend if you want to go for this sort of weapon, but let's take a look at the builds and see what we're working with here. I'm not min-maxed 100%, and this is only 4 Forma builds, but I do like the Hate, and I've never had issues killing everything, so here's what I have rolling on it. Feel free to, as always, swap things around as you want. On my first build, this is just a straight up damage and chill build. I like to use the Burning Hate augment. I will have this, I think, on all 3 of the configs, because if there's an augment mod and it doesn't suck completely, I'm gonna use it, right? This is Burning Hate. When hate damages enemies inflicted with heat status, they become vulnerable to 120% more status damage. I know what you're thinking, this weapon is perfect for a pretty good status build, and I do agree, I do have a somewhat status build for my config B that you'll see, but I just don't have a full, I would say, 100% status build, or is it config C? Yeah, I think config C is actually more of my status build, but you'll get to see. So I have a little bit of everything, nothing too out there, pretty basic, right? I took galvanized steel for some more crit chance and crit damage. If you want to throw on your sacrificial steel and go with sacrificial pressure instead, go for it. I just don't want to use those umbrals, but you know, I also do have organ shatter on, so it kind of doubles up there on the crit damage. So hey, maybe you'll want to swap off organ shatter, but I do have condition overload, organ shatter, galvanized steel just to start off. I have reaping spiral if you're worried or curious about the general stance, but choose whichever you prefer, stalking fan or reaping spiral. It's up to you. And then I quickly just chuck on Dreamer's Wrath for Tennokai, just so my Tennokai will hit and do some more damage. Nothing super special there, but my top row is just like damage, damage, crit damage, crit, and crit damage. So my top row is just straight up damage and crit damage. I will be hitting a lot of statuses, so condition overload if I'm solo is pretty good, but condition overload is generally always good, especially if you're in a party, because everyone does status. I have molten impact on for just straight up heat because, again, I want to build around burning hate. My statuses will do some more damage. I threw on magnetic rush just because I like to have magnetic rush. You can throw on truly whatever you feel like, as always. If you want more radiation attack, focus radon is also really good. I just want the attack speed, and I don't mind having magnetic on, right? It does more damage to shield and overguard, right? So it's actually better these days than it used to be. But you can always swap out whatever you feel like, still up to you. And then I, of course, have Berserker Fury on because you want to attack things really fast. If you want to go for more status build, you can go more melee prowess instead of magnetic rush, but you know, that's all up to you. And that's all well and good. And then I do have melee animosity here. Gain 42% critical chance on your next heavy attack, up to 420%. You're just going to be hitting high heavy attack damage. You truly can also do whatever you want here. Swap it out for melee exposure if you want to do corrosive damage more, but I'm not doing that because of the whole heat damage thing. Melee crescendo, you know, if you want to build more combo, initial combo for the rest of your mission. It's not really worth it, IMO, but whatever. Then melee duplicate, if you, this is actually one of the better chances to do melee duplicate because it's just kind of like a base, not building a ton of crit build. Obviously, you'd want to swap off melee duplicate if you're not, you know, using any sort of non-buffing frames. Sorry, I said that backwards. If you're using Kurlevo or something that gives you a bunch of crit, probably wouldn't want to use melee duplicate. Other than that, though, like, all really good. There's a lot of different builds you can do around here. Melee influence is still loved, right? Dowdy if you have puncture. But I'm pretty basic, so we're going to go with the melee animosity on this one. Let's quickly test out this bad boy to see how it works actually fighting the enemies. We clear through them. Let's do a full-on Grineer battlefield. We can do Infested after. The base damage, it's not like it's going to be hitting insane out the gate here. But then once you go your full combo, you hit your heavy attack, you got all your buffs coming out, and then you hit your Tennokai. Yeah, you're going to be hitting high damage. You're hitting 1,000,000 on those heavy attacks pretty simply. You're getting a lot of status down. And this is just a general basic build for running the game and killing enemies. This is not the highest damage build. This is probably one of the more lower damage builds, just because it's a normal build, right? You're not hitting for any specific enemies. These enemies are all armored, so this weapon is not favored against them with this sort of setup. But, you know, as you can see, it's still absolutely slaughtering them. I'll choose the enemies next to be like infested enemies, and then you'll see, oh, it kills them way faster, to the shock of literally no one. Because you're really banking on hitting some good heavy attack hits right there. And then if we swap it out to an infested battlefield, because you know this is a heat weapon, they just become more like butter. One heavy attack, right? All just dead. This isn't a super anti-armor build. You can always throw on a good Warframe like Protea, and then this heat build will no matter what kill everything if you do like an armor shred build on Protea. But against healthy enemies, you're still hitting really high. You're still hitting multiple millions, right? And if they're fully armored enemies, you're hitting a little lower. So you can always swap statuses out. You don't have to build around the Burning Hate augment mod, trust me, but I like to just because I kind of can. So yeah, that's the first build. Generally, it's just a damage build. No shock, very basic, understandable build. I'm not using any sort of outside buffs right now. I don't even have my companion equipped, so I'm just showing off the weapon base form. without huge Warframe buffs such as like Kurlevo or Volt or me going Oraxia mode and getting buffs like that, right? Using her abilities. So yeah, keep that in mind. So that is config A, that's my base build. And then my secondary build, config B. This is the general combo build, right? Still using Burning Hate, still using Volcanic Edge, but instead of some of the other things, it's all combo, okay? So let's take a look. Reaping Spiral on that one. Right? Reaping Spiral, I think on all of them. Don't worry about it. Dreamer's Wrath and Animosity. That stays because that's just there for damage and Tennokai, right? My Tennokai heavy attacks will hit really hard. That's what I like to see. Cool. We have Blood Rush for insane crit chance boosting. We have Galvanized Steel for a little bit of crit chance, but it's mainly there for the crit damage boosting because it's harder to build crit damage than crit. So yeah, Blood Rush. We have Weeping Wounds here for a really good status chance combo multiplier, which will in turn work really well with Burning Hate, okay? And then here we have Condition Overload for even more damage. We don't have any base damage outside of Condition Overload, but that should be fine because this is a combo build. Next we have Gladiator Might, and since we have a couple Gladiator mods, you'll see that we have a 20% melee crit chance per combo multiplier added on with Blood Rush, so it's at 60%. So yeah, God, combo builds are really what you want to do if you want to build highest tier damage, and I don't even min-max the highest possibility of my combo builds, so I would say even now, my combo builds could be way stronger if I felt like it, but like, who cares? It kills everything. Gladiator Vice and Gladiator Might are just good boosts right there, so I love to use them together like that. And then I took Volcanic Edge with Burning Hate at the end there to keep the heat damage going. If you have more room, you can totally throw on the higher tier heat mod, and if you want to, you could maybe think about throwing on Galvanized Elementalist over something such as Galvanized Steel. Probably not super worth it, maybe get over Gladiator Vice, but probably would just keep Galvanized Elementalist for a separate status build, right? Either way, this is what I'm using right now for my combo build. You can see the damage is pretty high down here, but since there's no upfront damage, you don't see it in the numbers, right? Total damage, 832. Look at the numbers, they're so low. But then once we go out and start testing the combo build, we'll see how quickly it starts building up to kill everything. The one annoying thing about this combo build, and that's why I was saying if you want to full send into combo, take the increased combo chance duration. The annoying thing about this combo is I don't have combo duration built in, so obviously I lose the combo pretty fast. But that's why I was saying earlier, again, if you want to, always you can swap out the range for combo duration. Combo duration is no matter what pretty good because combo is still good on base builds. I just don't personally care that much. I feel like you hit so many enemies and Warframes just slaughter with weapons so easily that it's not like a big deal. As you can see, the damage if you're using a proper combo build kind of deal is a lot of red crits, right? You're definitely murdering a lot more, and you should have a good time there. I don't think it actually swapped out there, because my combo went down the same amount. Yeah, it might be bugged out, so I'd have to reload my session, because I just noticed my combo did not go down slower there. Either way, Warframe bugs, right? So if you want to choose combo, go with combo. You'll hit those. Yeah, it's not going down any faster or slower. If you look in the bottom right, it's still going down, I think, like 5 seconds. Oh well. You're still going to hit insane numbers. You're still going to hit those big red crits. And you're still going to have a good time, okay? Either way, combo build or non-combo build. Combo build's always there for just the biggest possible damage numbers, so think about that if you want to go there. Yeah, see, it didn't choose the combo. It didn't actually properly work. So again, Incarnons and like modes can bug out all the time. Who knows if that's actually working or if it's just because I swapped it out in Simulacrum that it wasn't working. I'm assuming it's just borked because I used it in the Simulacrum. So I think the combo duration still works, so you probably don't have to worry about that. But, you know, it's better to me to make note of that than not. Either way, that's my second build that I have for my hate, right? General combo build. Then last but not least is my config 3. This one is pretty much the same as the first build, but it's just the Galvanized Elementalist status build, so, and melee influence build, because like why the hell not? So instead here, I decided to make the config without Burning Hate, and I went full send with Magnetic Rush and Voltaic Strike. So I pretty much swapped out Heat for Voltaic Strike, and I swapped out the Burning Hate for Galvanized Elementalist. So my status will be a little higher on this one so that I can melee influence them a little better, and hopefully like the damage is a little nicer there. You get the general idea, but other than that, the build is still the same, right? Prime Pressure Point and Condition Overload just for damage, Galvanized Steel and Organ Shatter for just crit damage. And again, because Galvanized Steel works so well the way it does, you can always swap out Organ Shatter for anything else, even like a higher tier element if you truly want to and you don't care too much about all your different statuses. Yeah, you have a lot of options, right? It's up to you, but at least no matter what, you'll probably kill things pretty well, no matter how you like look at it. So yeah, but I still have mainly the same general items here. So if I go and start attacking all the enemies here, you'll see the status damage might be a little higher if you notice it, because I do have Galvanized Elementalist on. So it's actually probably overall a little stronger, like a stronger build than before. And since I have my element is electricity, you'll see like it's throwing forward electricity. And of course, since this is a influence build, the electricity is shocking everyone. Put on the added status damage with the Galvanized mod, it all works really well together. There's a reason why melee influence is kind of the meta, right? I still hit like 9 million right there. AoE electric status, right? It does well. It does well for good reason. Even against, let's say, the Grineer enemies here, right? We go against a Grineer battlefield, they'll still take a little longer to kill and everything, but even not using my heavy attack until now, they pretty much all just melted and died under the pressure of electricity. So yeah, that's the cool part about the the burning, or Hate Incarnon. It just shoots out whatever elements you give it, and it makes it visually different colors. I totally forgot about that, to be honest, because I've never swapped this thing off of heat. So I totally forgot that it elementally does capture whatever is the main status visually, and it shoots it forward with the explosives. So I have to say, the Hate Incarnon is just such a good weapon, especially for Incarnons if you just like to use a strong melee. Either way, everybody, let me know what you think of the Hate Incarnon so far. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Yeah, not 100% sure. As always, though, if you want to support the channel, you can sub, you can like, comment down below, you know, to support the YouTube algorithm. And you can always use Epic Games creator code Pupsker if you want to support the channel as well. Lastly, though, let's just take this Hate Incarnon out to Warframe 1999, and you can see how much damage it can truly do. So now, everybody, I took Kurlevo into Warframe 1999 because I want to show you how much this thing can do when you fully max out the stacks on it. I have taken the Hate Incarnon, and with Kurlevo, it should do pretty insane amounts of damage against Hekrot. I just want to see how high we'll end up hitting. So we're hitting like 29 mil was that red crit I saw there, right? 6.5 mil. There's just a lot of good different types of damage we can hit with this, especially if you go out of your way to choose a Warframe that is a damage platform. You're hitting those high red crits against healthy enemies. The only thing that would make me do even more damage is if I threw on my pet. I'm actually still not using my pet, in case you were wondering, just because I just wanted to show off the weapon itself, but I'll quickly swap right after to see if there is a big difference in pet. The big difference in the pet, though, will be added viral damage will make this sort of build even better, because this is just a heat build. My Slivolpophyla that I'll throw on in a minute or so, that will add up viral damage, so my damage should go even higher through the roof. If you choose to use, instead of, let's say, a viral type of secondary, you could also, instead of using Kurlevo, choose to use a Warframe that shreds armor or something, and then boom. All of the enemies, no matter what, will have health on it, so your heat and maybe viral damage from your pet would be even higher, but hey. Either way, everybody, this is generally how the weapon works. This is the combo build I was using before, and again, still no pet, so let me know what you think of all of the damage. Is it too much red? Are you able to see? I don't know, it's kind of hard to say, right? Do you find this damage acceptable? I don't know, man, I don't know. I only have, like, however many hundred something kills just by holding the E button. It's a nice thing about Hekrot too, right? They always run at you, so you don't have to worry about it. You do have to keep reactivating your first ability, though, as Kurlevo, if you want to hit those high numbers, right? Because you got to reactivate the crit, right? 42 million right there. That's not bad at all. We hit 38 million, 40 millions, right? Look at that, 27 million. That's the lovely part about Kurlevo. If you want red crits, he's the go-to guy. And I just love using him for general gameplay. Either way, that is the combo build. Let's just go throw on my pet. We'll see if it makes much of a difference. So now that we're into the match and I brought my pet along, you'll notice the damage from the Burning Hate. It'll be a lot higher, okay? Purely because the added enemies will now have the extra damage of viral against them. So what, that's like up to a 350% type of boost to damage if the enemies end up getting hit with some of those viral stacks from my pet. The Sly Vulpaphyla is also a great status spreader with the Burning Hate because, and like pets in general, because they can spread status a ton, right? I just hit 46 mil there. That's not too bad. And with all of that extra damage, you don't really have to worry about doing any sort of super min-maxed build, so that's the nice thing about the Burning Hate. I like that it shoots out forward artillery for weapons, right? It makes it so you don't have to worry about being so close to enemies all the time. And with all the added damage of like viral if you choose it, along with the Burning Hate, good pet damage, and a good weapons platform. Jeez, man, the Burning Hate, the hate in general, Stalker weapons just become a force to be reckoned with. So, yeah, I'm not noticing like huge viral stacks on the enemies or anything like that, but I am noticing that the AoE of the enemies are dying a lot faster because all of the status and all of the damage from my weapon gets spread a little easier. I think because of my Sly Vulpaphyla. Either way, still hitting millions, tens of millions. You're still gonna absolutely slap. And this has just been a go-to Incarnon for mine, because it just works so well. There's not too much to say about it other than forward artillery, Stalker weapon, go burr. I love it, and I wish everyone else would love it too. Maybe you hate it? I don't know, man, but let me know what Incarnon weapons you love and tend to use out of this week. Let me know your sweet builds. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, remember to like and comment down below to support that sweet YouTube algorithm. Share the video. Oh yeah, YouTube has the new hype feature, so I don't know where that is, but if you can hype up my video, do that. Thank you. And you can always use Epic Games creator code Pupsker if you buy things on the Epic Games stores to support the channel, as I am an Epic partner and everything helps directly support me. So thank you. I'm just taking a small break from 24/7 streams and stuff on Twitch because I want to make a lot of videos off stream right now. So I'm going to occasionally just stream on Twitch when I feel like playing games and chatting with everyone, and I'll try to stream on YouTube as well when I do that. So thank you all for joining any of those whenever they happen. And as always, I'll see you next time. Keep playing Warframe. Cheers.